Hey y'all, it's Amanda, and I know what y'all all are thinking. Those hydrangeas are dead. In fact, kinda yes, but the plant overall is actually still alive. These are Limelight hydrangeas. There are two plants here. Definitely need to be separated because they're very large and in charge. And every year in July, they get sunburned, is what ends up happening. And in the beginning, when I first started growing these, I was all like, oh, darn it, they're sunburned. This looks terrible, blah, blah, blah. And then the last couple of years, I've just kind of been like, that's fine. And I cut them back. I cut the shrub back harshly, at least by 50%. And every year it puts on a new flush of leaves, and it is nice and full of leaves by October. And then next year, everything returns just fine. So this has just become my process because I don't plan on moving these. I really should separate the two plants. And I kind of look forward to utilizing all of these blooms in my fall decor. And these are going to be utilized in my vintage urns this year. So it's kind of become a summer process for me. I look forward to it. Now, these lasted way longer than they typically do because we had a lot more rain and cooler temps earlier this summer. Typically, these are browning by July 4th, and I've got them down by the third week in July. This year, they've lasted way longer, so here we are into August. And I've allowed them definitely to spend more time drying on the plant. And so basically I'm just going through doing a nice harsh cut back, and I'll show you what they look like all together. So as a gardener, I've changed a lot over the years. I used to be so incredibly controlling about every aspect of the garden, and now I just go with the flow. And this is one of those go with the flow moments. I really want hydrangeas in my garden. Limelight hydrangeas are the best for my area. This is the best they can do. They give me beautiful blooms for several months, and then they have to have this cutback. So I just go with it, and I try to make the best out of I try to make the best I can out of the situation that I'm dealing with. And this is the end result, a massive bundle of Limelight hydrangeas that will continue to dry out. And like I said, these are going to be utilized in my vintage urns in the back with a stack of pumpkins, and then these around the base. They're going to be gorgeous, and I will definitely have a video showing you how I do that. Now moving over, these right here are my Pink a Dot phlox by Proven Winners. Hands down my favorite phlox, and I'm not real big on promoting something like Proven Winners, but y'all, this particular variety is worth every penny. And they have just produced and produced and produced. So I'm giving them a little haircut, and they will produce again for me this fall. So if you are looking for a tried and true phlox that just keeps giving and giving, this is it. This is what you want to do right here. And I do think I can probably divide these this fall into more plants, but definitely highly suggest Pink Dot Phlox. Now, these white ones right here, those are Luminaria Phlox. That's a different one. Not my favorite. It's kind of straggly. It doesn't produce as many blooms. It's also a proven winners. But these Pink Dot Phlox right here, you can see even when the blooms have dried and they're not really like blooming as much, it's still really, really pretty. But definitely worth checking out if you're interested. I'm also giving a little haircut to these hellebore back here. I think this is actually the wrong time to give them a haircut. Truthfully, I'm over this plant. It's back here in the wrong place. I need to dig it up and move it, and I'm giving it a haircut, and if it doesn't make it, it's not the end of the world. If it does make it, then I really need to dig it up and move it this fall. I'm also freshening up these planters, just cutting back these geraniums a little bit, and I am cutting my creeping Jenny. It grows bonkers. I want to keep it from touching the ground so it doesn't begin spreading through my garden. That's one of my big goals. Okay, I got too hot the day before, so I stopped. I only work about 30 to 45 minutes at a time outside because it's like 105, 108 degrees. It's crazy. So this is the next evening, and I am out here, and I decided to remove these Dusty Miller. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, ah, they're just not very pretty up close, y'all. And the stems are very woody now. Now, I'm not pulling out the plant, I'm just cutting it back. So if they decide to push new foliage, that would be lovely. I like the freshness of new Dusty Miller foliage. I don't like the old woody stems like these. And in their place, I'm going to be doing my first fall plantings, which I'm super excited about. But I do love how cathartic it is to come and prune harshly like this. Pruning those hydrangeas and then coming in and pruning these Dusty Miller back. It just feels so stinking good. Now, once that's done, I'm going to use a rake to clean up a lot of the dry, dead foliage from the hydrangeas and just get the space fixed up. Now, before I plant, I'm going to lay down some plant tone throughout this entire area, just recharging it because those Dusty Miller have been there since last fall. I also have some coleus up front. It's Black Dragon coleus. It's taking its sweet time getting going because it's so stinking hot. Look at that verbena, y'all. Oh, I'm obsessed with that verbena. I'm going to be planting it every year to come. And even these zinnias, these are looking great. And then this is currently my favorite planter right now. It is Cascading Vinca. I am obsessed. Now, in that spot I just cleared out, we're going to be planting pumpkin on a stick. And if you haven't heard of pumpkin on a stick, it's a weird, quirky looking plant. It's actually in the eggplant family, but I don't believe these are edible. I grew these from seed. I'm really proud of them. I think they did really beautifully. And I've only grown these for a couple of years and they have been pretty foolproof. So I'm very pleased with them. Now they grow these long, crazy looking stems that look like they're covered with tiny pumpkins. They are so stinking adorable. I'm really excited. Last year when I grew them, I grew them earlier in the season. I cut them midsummer and dried them. And then I saved them so I can use in arrangements and in my containers and such. This year I'm planting them so that they will be in the garden growing during the fall season. I will still harvest at the end of the fall season and dry them again so that I have more elements for my containers. But I'm really excited to see how these look in the garden, and it'll be really fun showing y'all. They are just so quirky, so unique, and so different. So if you're interested in growing something super cool for the fall, check out Pumpkin on a Stick. Pumpkin on a stick is actually an ornamental eggplant that produces small, bright orange fruits that look like miniature pumpkins along sturdy stems. Plants grow about 3 to 4 feet tall and thrive in full sun and warm conditions. Grown as an annual in most climates, the fruit-covered stems are especially popular for fall arrangements and dried floral displays. And my water hose broke. I just turned it on, sprayed myself in the eyes, the whole shebang. Ugh, super annoying. But I did go in and make sure that these are really, really well watered. At the end of the video, you'll see a little video snippet where I went back and put cloches over the top of all of these to keep out my armadillo friend from digging them up. So I think that'll look really good. I also came through and gave these Inca Prim Rose marigolds a really nice haircut, cutting them back by 50% just so I can encourage another round of blooms. Now, as I was cutting the marigolds, I noticed that they have some spider mite damage. So this is the only way I deal with spider mites. I come into the plant with a hose and I use a strong stream of water to get the plant all wet. Spider mites like really hot, dry environments, which is where I'm at right now in the North Texas area. And so coming in and spraying the plant down from all angles is extremely helpful. And you can see I'll get really down there close to it, trying to get it from multiple angles, just getting the plant super wet. And if I do this every day for a few days, it will make a vast difference. Those spider mites will go away. Now they'll go to one of my other plants, but they'll leave these plants alone. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm pleased with how it looks, and it's going to look really great in a few weeks when the hydrangeas start to leaf out again. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.